not by a car. Abduction of Mikelle Biggs by a present burglar in the vacant house during the holidays, 917 Toltec, is the key to the case. Was it Deep Blaylock and or a similar type who could have buried Mikelle even in that backyard? So let me start with a bigger picture. I first explain this picture. I want to show here my insights. I later explain why I'm sure that no car was used. The guy who did this came out of this building, 917 Toltec. He took the girl, he lifted her up, her feet were not on the ground, so this was for the dog not the same situation, you know, when the girl is walking on the ground. This is another situation when she is lifted up. So the dog the dog smells these little parts of the skin, you know, that fall down. But because this girl was always there, there are everywhere some little parts of her. But for sensing the trace, the dog must compare what he is smelling, and so it is a big difference if the girl is with her own feet on the ground, and this is for the dog the real trace, you know. And when something changed because this criminal guy lifted her up, so this is the reason, because the dogs showed only a trace for a few feet. This was the information that the dogs lost the scent after a few feet. Of course, the dogs have the scent of Mikelle and many other places, but the dogs are trained to show a trace, and so the trace stopped because Mikelle was lifted up by this crime. He lifted her up, and so he walked with her to the door and inside. And in this area near the door, you know, he grabbed her. He shut her mouth, and she was fighting. She wanted to take his hand away, and she but first she had her money in her hand, and so she was fighting. And in one moment of this fight, she was opening her hand to grab him, and in this moment she slung the coins. You know, the coins were found in this area here, and this came not because the police thought that a guy came with the car. The girl dropped her bike and ran away, and when she ran away, she dropped the coins here because she wanted to run home. This I show this. This was the interpretation of the police, and this was a misunderstanding. So I'm sure that Mikelle Biggs was kidnapped into this building. If she could even be buried in this backyard. the killer of Mikelle Biggs was already in the house for burglary. It can be, you know, something, not a burglary with brute force, open the door with brute force, but a burglary that cannot be seen by these people living there. You know, maybe he had the key, maybe he was opening the door by picking and so, but I don't think to a real brute burglary. I explain this later. It could be someone who has even a key. It must not be Blaylock alone, but I explain it later. So I write here, accomplice with insider knowledge, probably. So Mikelle Biggs caught by a sex burglar, D. Blaylock. It could be D. Blaylock because, you know, he did his crime for what he is now in prison, like this, that he was burglaring in the house. You know, the woman said he was hiding behind the refrigerator, and
he was exposing himself to me.
It was exposing.
Mr. Blaylock, what are you doing?
And she was asking Mr. Blaylock, what are you doing here? She was, you know, he was burglaring there, and he combined burglaring with rape, and this is the pattern. I'm sure it was done here too. He was not planning this deed like this, but then suddenly he saw the opportunity, and Mikelle was not adopted by a car. So this is this picture. Now I close it and I explain my insights. Since the first moment I heard about Mikelle Biggs, I knew this abduction was not committed by car. The key to understanding is house 917 Toltec. I give the link to this article in the description. Then I realized additionally, not luck characterizes the crime, but an optimal secret observation point to also see Kimber's action as well, and how D. Blaylock combined burglary, rape, and murder. Now we check something. This is would be an perfect observation point, but this is the perspective of the neighbor. We come to this later. But also from this house, you see, it is possible to check the street. Here, the windows make it possible to check the street, and this is important because here we see the house of the parents of Mikelle Biggs. She was living here. This is the fifth house in this row. So Kimber told that she was somehow in the moment when she went home, and she said to Mikelle, I want to go home, do you come with me? And Mikelle said, no, I want to stay. In this moment, Kimber was somehow in the middle here of the street. So this could be, this scene, you know, could be heard and seen by a person from this house, from this Toltec, also this 917 Toltec Drive house. And so it is essential, it is important to see this, to have this information, all what is happening in the street, to commit this crime. So these two houses would have this view, you know, this observation possibility, and this house. To this house we come later. This is just a possibility that I wanted to mention, but I'm in the center of my thoughts. This is a guy like D. Blaylock. Here I mentioned the alternative, but I made it a little bit smaller, you know. It is not in my focus. But if you want, a theoretical explanation would be someone in this neighbor house across the street who has access to this building 917 Toltec, maybe with a key, because these people were in holidays. This house was empty. These people in 917 Toltec were not at home. So it is possible, you know, to give a key for someone to not giving an order to do house sitting, but just for the case there is something happening. Sometimes people give a key to a neighbor or something. This is just a possibility, but I don't. This I only mentioned, but my main thought is a scenario like this, with such kind of burglar. Okay, so proof that public opinion about a car is wrong. So a picture of the location and transcript of Kimber show the missing dog track refutes assumption of an escape to the location of the coins, because 50 feet. Wait, I first show the picture, and then I'm. Okay, so I'm first explain this picture, then my text is more easy to understand. Here you have this area, and we start with the position where the coins were found. The coins were found by a neighbor boy, but then he showed the police where they were. So this is the photo of the police. So this is the coins were at the ending here. Two coins were on the pedestrian walk. Some coins were here on the street, and some coins were around 4 meters from the door, and some coins might be rolling a little bit more far, you know, and landed at the end of this wall. So this was the position of the coins. I explained before how the coins came here. The girl was taken in the house, and she was fighting, and during the fight, when she was around here, she somehow thrown the things, not purposely thrown, but so in the fight they fell, but not dropped on the ground, but just a little bit catapulted, you know. Okay, so now we have I give the link to the video where Kimber said that the bike was 10 feet, around 10 feet from the tee of where the you know, this T, this is you know, this T is when the Elmore Street, it comes to the Toltec Street. So from here, around 10, so somehow 10 feet. There was the bike. It was not middle on the street, not on the pedestrian walk, but so a little bit like here. So I marked the bike here, and there was the coin. And this is around 50 feet distance, you know. And then we have the information that the dog lost the scent after a few feet. So this was in the moment, you know, when the people thought, yes, a car stopped near the bike and took the girl, and so it's understandable that the scent was stopped too. But there's this unlogic that the police thinks the girl was running home and dropping and on her way running home she dropped the coins, the quarters. But then as I said before, the dogs would have shown, you know, her trace where she was running, so this is you know, this is a how to call contradiction. Yes, it's a contradiction in the own world, in the police's own words. So okay, okay, this transcript on this side, the right side, they show the position of the bike. This transcript here shows the where the dogs, how the dogs lost the scent after a few feet, and this all together with the position of the coins. This yes, this means missing dog track refutes assumption of an escape to the location of the coins. 50 feet is not a few feet. So I have this wait, yes, so this can also be shown here. The policeman said I don't want to show the video because I don't know if I get problems, you know, for my own video, so I show the screenshots. He said that this guy was not someone she wanted to be with. She dropped that bike and she would run towards home. She dropped the quarters. So this is what the police thinks, that she was trying to run home. She dropped the bike. She was trying to run home. She was on her own feet, you know, running here, and dropped also the quarters here. And then she was he took her. He brought her back to the car. And, you know, when she is running away 50 feet, she can scream, This is, and so he gets more far away from his car, his own car. He must catch her. She screams, and then he must bring her back. This is not likely happening like this. This is. There are clear contradictions, many clear contradictions to the thoughts of the police. Okay, so this stuff here you know, I show it here, the text of the video. You can go also to the link and see it there. Moment, this is transcript of Kimber. Okay, I have to fit, and it needs here another link. I can do it. I can stop video. Okay, the link was not possible now, but you can find it with these informations. So, I can prove police is wrong here. Now I go into detail. First some screenshots and facts, then argumentation. Here is a bigger picture of the position of the coins. Here, these marks, and that's transcript, better to read. And this is, then you can check this out, but I already explained it. So now additional clues that house 917 Toltec was the crime scene. Okay, this one thing I told already. When Mikelle could have run 50 feet, she would have had plenty of time to scream. Yeah. And second point, under hypnosis, witness Kimber herself recalled noticing a person in house 917 Toltec closing the door. That confirms my thoughts enormously. This I did not knew in the beginning, but from the first moment I heard about this case, I was sure that this was a crime, not by car, but has to do with this house. And later I read that even Kimber, the sister of Mikelle, remembered that she saw someone in this house. You know, this house was regarded empty because the people living there were in holidays. And so this house was not searched at the first evening. No one answered, you know, the door. And so it is a very big. It is underlining, you know, my thoughts enormously. That Kimber said she saw someone closing the screen door, or, you know, close their front door, but behind the screen door. So this is I show it. This is moment. I need the picture. Here you see it. This, she's talking about this door. She saw someone, but you know, Kimber was not there in the moment the crime happened. But a few seconds later, she came and she found the bike here. You know, the bike here on the street. And then when she looked around, she saw this door moving. Someone was in the house, but the house by the police, you know, was regarded as being empty later, because these people were in holidays. So when they talk, when suddenly it came out that maybe, you know, maybe Kimber remembered something, and then they tried, in addition to get more by hypnosis. But so in any way, this came out later that Kimber saw this door moving. Someone was at this door, and this is some proof for me, you know, that my thoughts are right. I did not know this in the beginning. I only saw this situation here, and I said, this is something that has to do with this house. Okay, So this is this. Now we go on. A D. Blaylock attempted murder and sex offender during burglary. So there is this link to this video where this other victim is reporting this crime. And the important is he was also a burglar and a rapist. He combined this, and this fits perfect, you know. He was in this house, but he took advantage of the situation, and he saw a victim, and he thought he's in a good position. No one can find out that he did this crime, and then he started. Then D. Blaylock pretended being a caretaker. So here witnesses said he did the yard work. He was nice and friendly. He did for other people the yard work. So this is maybe not a professional care worker, but in this direction. Okay, and so I can go here. Yeah. And another witness says he was always offering help to us to do things. So, you know, he got money for the work, and he got information, he got knowledge about houses and situation. So he had two business, you know, somehow. And then burglary during holiday absence applies insider knowledge. Was another caretaker involved? So, you know, yes, this is, the question is, okay, I read it. In the house 907 Toltec, two old ladies were living in 1999, but during the crime against Mikelle, they were in holiday absence. A house and two old ladies, there could be a caretaker be involved. If a burglary during the holiday absence of the ladies happens, the question is if the burglars had inside knowledge. A caretaker like D. Blaylock could abuse such insider knowledge for a crime. But if D. Blaylock was not the caretaker at 917 Toltec, was there another caretaker who could be involved in the crime together with D. Blaylock? If not only D. Blaylock was involved, there would be a bigger chance solving the crime, more chance for investigation. Maybe in such a combination it was not even burglary, but some kind of house sitting, and Blaylock and the other caretaker entered with a key. This does not have to mean that there was an order or a contract for house sitting, but just a key or a secret key and an excuse for doing something good for free if being caught. In any way, we know that no brute force was used at the door, because nothing was reported. Maybe a key, maybe picking was the tactic to get in. Okay, so check the backyard, also beneath stones, etc. The body of Mikelle could have been brought away by car, but she could still be buried in the backyard, even beneath stones or something like this. Especially if a caretaker would be involved. He could later propose work and offer cheap or for free, as a bonus, some kinds of improvements that secretly and without the owners being aware would help to hide the crime and the grave. Maybe pouring somewhere some concrete, planting some bushes, putting some heavy elements or stones somewhere. Police has to check and question all people living and working there since that time, or during that time, you know. Yes, during that time, but maybe after, you know, there could be a guy like a caretaker or working in this garden, and he can work there. He knows the body is at this place, and he could lead the things, you know, in a direction that this place stays safe. Okay. Think to precautions. If a search with dogs was done, do it again and think to precautions that could have been done to make the dogs' work more difficult. Maybe pepper or other chemicals in the house, plastic bags, or concrete in the garden, you know. When the guy who did this is clever, it is imaginable that even the police was once there with with dogs, and that the dog did not find anything, you know, so it is a question: is this a normal crime scene, you know, or is this a crime scene where someone was taking special precautions, you know? So just check it again. Because especially if a caretaker would be involved, you know, normally when there's a crime, and then after the crime they are in a hurry, the criminals, they run away. But here, you know, if someone with a trust of these people is involved, he can even do something, you know, proposing, helping to cleaning something, but not telling them that he wants to clean a crime scene, but just, you know, when this guy is near this scene, and he has the trust of these people, and he can propose something, he can manage the whole situation in his favor, you know. Okay, this is another situation if a criminal runs away, or if there is after the crime, this person has still he can still influence the situation, you know. Okay, so now the summary. The crime against Mikelle was committed without much planning, prompted by an initial opportunity that arose from Mikelle's presence and another opportunity that arose from Kimber's absence. The time frame for this was so short that coincidence cannot be assumed, and a kidnapping with a car can be ruled out due to the relationship between the place where the bicycle between the place where the bicycle was found, the place where the coins were found, and a dog track that did not match to these places. Mikelle Biggs wasn't at the spot where the coins were found, and her feet didn't touch the ground when she opened her hand during the fight and the coins were thrown aside. Mikelle was taken to the 917 Toltec home. That home was not checked on the night of the crime because no one opened the door. because they were not at home because holiday. And if it was later checked, then the perpetrators took better precautions than the police and their dogs realized. It is unclear whether Mikelle was buried in the garden or taken away from the property. A burglary with damage is not to be assumed, but a secret intrusion which should not even be noticed, whether with a legal or an illegal key or picking. I am assuming something where an intruder, if caught, would have pleaded that he was just checking things out like a house sitter. The question is whether Blaylock had insider knowledge and contact with the residents at the time, or whether there was another caretaker who had that insider knowledge. If you couldn't solve the case with Blaylock alone, there are two other chances. An insider, like a caretaker or helper from 917 Toltec, was an accomplice, or you can find Mikelle's body in the garden. Okay, this is my article and my video. I want to send this to the police and family and media. And okay, if there are questions, you can contact me through my website. This is here. I am also doing some jokes on my website, but it has I have serious arguments. Okay, and so here I have the contact possibilities and some information about me. Okay, and so I will put my video in this article, and now again the two main pictures. Oh wait, yes. So this is the first picture. That explains a lot, and then the other one. Okay, so I wish success to find this guy.